grew up in a very stable household. I have 2 older sisters, 1 older brother and 1 younger brother. My father was an alcoholic, and my mother, she developed schizophrenia when I was about 10 years old. I was actually bullied in high school and middle school, and students teased me for the clothes I wore, for how I looked. We didn't grow up with that much money, and I would, come home from being bullied, and then I would, come home to an abusive family household. It was very devastating because I also didn't have that many people to reach out to as much. I didn't have that many friends in high school or middle school, and my family members, I could have reached out to them because most of them were the ones who were harming me, and yeah, I felt very lonely for most of my childhood growing up. I was abused by one of my siblings for as long as I can remember, I think, since I was about 4 years old. It was pretty hard. I remember growing up, and I would always question to God and ask, why is this happening to me? It was something that was on the back of my mind. I remember growing up and going to school with other children, and I wanted to imagine what a life would look like without, having that abuse or coming home to an abusive household. I wanted to know what that felt like. I was afraid to bring it up to my mom. She wouldn't be able to do much. And I brought it up to my dad once when I was about 7 years old. And next thing you know, my dad goes to a liquor store around the corner, and he leaves the house for a moment. My mom is working, and that sibling then puts their hands on me again and threatens that if I ever snitch again, then the worst that I can imagine would happen to me. So I didn't bring it up ever again. All of my siblings knew about the situation, but they weren't able to do anything. I had a close friend in high school, and she was about 3 years older than me and a couple grades above me. And we met in a drama class in high school. She came a couple months later after the school year started, and I remember she took my seat once in class, and I wanted to go over to her and I wanted to let her know that that was my seat, and I wanted to complain, but I didn't. I actually said, "Hey, it's nice to meet you," and I introduced myself, and since then we clicked, and we were really good friends ever since. And she was a member of the Baha'i faith. She was this person who did things from her heart and not to hurt anyone. And I think the closest thing I had growing up was my sister. What happened was we were having a conversation, me and my mom, and I was telling her that it would be nice if I had a phone, because I didn't have a phone growing up. She was nice enough to help me with a little bit of her savings. I try to hide it from my siblings because if they found out, then they would all get jealous and mad at me. But then my sister, she found out, and she was really mad, and she started showing signs of hatred by putting her hands on me. And I didn't want that from her, especially since she was the closest thing to me growing up. I had a really close friend at the time, and I was texting them and I was letting them know what was going on because I had no one else to talk to. If it wasn't my sister, I had to reach out to someone because no one in my family was doing anything about it. When they saw that she was putting her hands on me, my closest friend, when I reached out to her, she gave me advice, and I took that advice, and it was to, call the police because she was saying that this is what domestic violence is. If no one's doing anything in your household, then you should call the police. I took my friend's advice, so I called the police, and the police had taken my sister and put her into juvie, and that was the first time that everyone started to look at me differently. And everyone in my family, everyone was judging me and saying that, how could you do this to your sister? How could you call the police on your sister? She's your sister, she's your blood, you're supposed to love each other, you're supposed to forgive her, My mom, she wouldn't talk to me because she said that, this is your sister, I can't believe you call the police on her. I was afraid the next day she would come over because I was afraid that, she would do something even worse to me. The first thought that came to mind, my instinct was, I have to get out the house. Next thing you know, we were on our way to my uncle's house in Virginia, and I stayed about 2 months there.
So when I moved out for the first time into my uncle's home, I felt that a huge burden had lifted off of my shoulders, this huge weight, and I felt so free. I felt it was like a bird being released from the cage. I always wondered what a normal life looked like. And I did. For the very first time, I felt that when I was with my uncle and living at his place. It was very beautiful, and I promised to myself that I will continue to live this lifestyle, or I will return back to this lifestyle in the future. So that also encouraged me to take my future seriously and my existence seriously as well.
I returned back home, and my sister and I wouldn't speak to each other at all because of what had happened. She felt that I betrayed her, and I also felt that she had betrayed me. There's just so many times I questioned my parents' religion growing up, and I felt that because of that, my relationship with God wasn't that strong. Around the incident between my sister and I, there was a time where I didn't believe in God for a while because I felt that He wasn't there to help me. No one was there to help me. I also didn't do so well in school before. Growing up, I also was looked down upon because many of my teachers, they thought that I had no future, and they thought that I wasn't the smartest or brightest student. I was always told that I didn't have many friends growing up either. I had a curfew. My sibling who was abusive to me, they put me at a curfew where I would have to be home around a certain time. So that meant that I was not able to engage in any social activities after school. I couldn't do any sports or anything that would, that any other child or student would want to do. My sibling had changed. My sibling who was abusive to me before my sister was, had changed. They were no longer abusive to me. And I think that incident helped them realize something. I was taking my classes more seriously, and I was applying to schools and colleges because I wanted to go to college. My closest friend, this was the friend who had given me advice to call the police. We attended college together. That's when I was introduced to the Ruhi book. We were just sitting in the dining room of these Baha'is and home, and we were just studying. We just, dived into the book, and I was reading their writings and all of the material in the book that the book provided, and I was very interested to learn more about the faith because it was talking about the purpose of life and what is life like in the afterlife. What is the purpose of our existence? And I had never seen life that way before, so it encouraged me to learn more about it, and I continued the book study until I finished it, or until I completed it. So yes, studying the Ruhi books not only developed my reading skills in academia, but also enhanced my knowledge about the virtues and the writings and all that is to know about the Baha'i faith. And when I started learning more about the material, that's when I started becoming more interested in how to strengthen my relationship with God, because before I didn't feel like I had this connection with God, but now reading more about the material, I started to read more about my life's purpose. When I was studying closer to the end of studying book 1, it was the day right before the 19-day feast. A couple of Baha'is had asked me if I wanted to declare Baha'i, and this was the moment, and I said yes, but I was actually hoping for them to ask me in advance, like maybe a couple of months way before they had asked me, because I was actually interested in becoming Baha'i since the first time I read the material of the Ruhi book. Once I started reading the material, I fell in love with the faith. It was just life-changing. There were so many things that I agreed with that in the Christianity faith they didn't teach me, and the Baha'i faith did teach me. It was spring of 2018. I was given the opportunity to move in with my closest friend who was a member of the Baha'i faith. And her family had taken me in for about 2 years. And still at that time, I was not speaking that much with my family, and I still wasn't speaking with my sister. Every day I was reading the tablet of Ahmad, and I was trying to build courage as well to reach out to my sister, and every day I felt more stronger, and I had more confidence. So eventually I reached out to my sister, and I told her, I'm very sorry for our past experience. I'm very sorry for what happened to you, and I told her if she could give me another opportunity. That was the first time I brought the Baha'i faith up to her. I said, I feel that our time apart has definitely helped me transform who I am as an individual. It helped me identify or find my identity, and I feel that I changed, and if you can forgive me, then I would very much appreciate it. I was telling her that, these are my intentions. I don't mean to hold any grudge against you anymore, and I hope you don't as well. So she forgave me, and I told her, I believe that I have strengthened my relationship with God. So, I believe that I am a changed person, and she forgave me after that conversation, and it took 5 years for that to happen, and I honestly would have not known I would have not learned the lesson about forgiveness if it wasn't for the Baha'i faith. I wouldn't have learned anything like that. I wouldn't learn how to love and care for other people the way I do now, because I learned that from many people in the Baha'i faith when I moved away from my family. It taught me so many things about, loving and kindness and forgiving one another, and I learned that through, studying the Ruhi books, because that's what they teach us. They teach us our purpose is also to serve each other. So I believe that I was also going to be able to serve her in some kind of way, to also encourage her on how to improve her lifestyle or encourage her to do better in school.
When my parents found out that I was Baha'i, I didn't feel afraid to tell them. I told them that, I still believe in God, but my mom was telling me that as long as you believe in God, then I support you. And my siblings, however, when they found out that I became Baha'i, they still tease me a little till this day, and they tell me that they think that it's a cult, but that's okay, because my faith is with God, and I'm very proud of my decision. As the days are getting closer to the 100th anniversary of the ascension of Abdul Baha, I feel that my relationship with him, Abdul Baha, has grown much more stronger, and it's very special because Abdul Baha is the perfect exemplar of who he reminds me of who I can be, and it's being a good human to provide service to others, and I learned so much from him. I believe that serving is very crucial to our existence. It's our purpose of life, and it's an act of joy. It's something that we should be proud to do. So my past doesn't matter to me. All that happened is right behind me, and honestly, if your heart is searching, then the answer will come to you like a breeze, like it did to me.
My name is Kimberly Ortega, and I am currently studying interior architecture at George Washington University. I am very happy and thankful to have shared my story with you all.